Hi, welcome back to the Barrett channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Lee. I run this channel with my son Ollie. We are based here in Shenzhen in China, and our channel, we cover things like opinion, we cover technology, we cover food and travel, a whole host of things. So there's something for everybody. Today I want to talk about the controversy surrounding Eileen Gu. Okay, so who is Eileen Gu? She's an 18-year-old woman who grew up in the USA. She's not only a very talented skier, she's also a very smart and attractive young lady, gaining a place at the prestigious Stanford University that she will attend next autumn. And she also has some major modelling contracts with some of the biggest brands on the planet, including Louis Vuitton and Tiffany & Co. jewellery. She has a Chinese mother and an American father. However, it's clear that her mother has played a very dominant role in her life while she's been growing up and made her very aware of her Chinese heritage. Eileen has an obvious talent for skiing, and that's something that can't be taught. That is something that's within you. However, the tuition she's received has honed that talent she has and turned her into a champion. She's competing in 3 events at the upcoming Beijing 2022 Olympics, and she's tipped to win a gold medal in all 3 events that she's competing in, which, if she did, would be an absolutely amazing accomplishment for a young skier who's only 18 years old. So why is Eileen Gu in the news and causing so much controversy? Well, the reason is that she's decided to compete in this upcoming Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics. She's decided to compete for China and not the USA. The USA is the country she grew up in and did her training, but she's decided to ski for China and not the USA. Now, Eileen has her own reasons for doing this, but before we get into that, I just want to have a look at this clip on Fox News of how Eileen was talked about by Will Kane and Tucker Carlson during the recent Fox News episode.
Eileen Gu is 18 years old. She's a skier. She was born in San Francisco. She's a favorite to win several gold medals in the Winter Olympics in China this year, but she's not going to be competing for the country of her birth or her citizenship. Instead, she's going to be on China's Olympic team. She has one parent who was born in China, and she switched sides despite the fact she's American. What does this tell us about the moment we're living in and about our future? Will Kane is the co-host of Fox & Friends Weekend. He's also the host of the Will Kane podcast, which is excellent. He joins us now. Will, thanks for coming on. This seemed like a significant story. Do you think that it is?
I think it is. I think it's a significant story if we consider that it's about something much bigger than Eileen Gu.
Right,
First,
exactly.
With Eileen Gu, I mean, it is incredibly, I think the only word we can arrive at is ungrateful for her to turn her back on the country that not just raised her, but turned her into a world-class skier with the training and facilities that only the United States of America can provide. For her to then turn her back on that in exchange for money is shameful. It's ungrateful, like a child that says, I'm out of here, I'm moving somewhere else, after being raised in a warm home. That's what she is, and she will soon, I suspect, Tucker, come to regret it. I mean, take a look at the Chinese tennis player who dared to speak out about sexual harassment and then mysteriously disappeared. Eileen Gu, I think, has had to sacrifice her American passport, so welcome to China. I hope stardom and the riches that you have earned through betraying America are all worth it, because you have definitely sold out.
You know, this girl's 18, you know, you make dumb decisions, you get stupid tattoos, you renounce your citizenship to go to China, whatever. You know, young people do dumb things. But there should be collective revulsion as we watch this. Like, we shouldn't make it easy for people to betray their own country, should we?
Personally, I feel it's disgraceful how they've talked about her just. And also, she's received a huge amount of hate and threats on her social media platforms as well. I'd also like to note that Eileen made the decision to compete for China back in 2019, but it's resurfaced again in mainstream media now, obviously because of the Olympic Games. Now next, I'd like to draw your attention to this article from 2018 that was put up on Yahoo News. The article states that at the 2018 Olympic Games, 178 athletes, roughly 6%, competed for a country that they were not born in. Take, for example, Han Hyun-soo, who won 4 Olympic gold medals for South Korea in 2006, but after disputes and lack of support from the South Korean Skating Association, he began competing for Russia and went on to win 3 more gold and a bronze medal in the 2014 Sochi Olympics. And this is something that happens quite often. Athletes competing for countries they were not born and raised in, and for many different reasons. It's also often the case that athletes compete for the USA who have been born and raised in other countries too. Okay, so I'll leave a link in the video description to that article because it really does make a very interesting read. Now, my opinion on this, the reason why Eileen is receiving all this negative press and hate in the mainstream media on her social media platforms is that she's decided to compete for China, her mother's homeland, which she has strong connections to. And she's actually just been caught up in all this, geopolitical and the whole tensions between the USA and China. The USA continually bashing China on an ongoing basis. So there's so much negativeness from the USA towards China at the moment, and I think she's just been really just caught up in all this. Okay, now let's turn to Eileen herself and have a look at why she made the decision to compete for China and not the USA. And to do that, we're going to look back at an original Instagram post from June 2019, and so let's have a look at that now. I have decided to compete for China in the upcoming 2022 Winter Olympics. This was an incredibly tough decision for me to make. I am extremely thankful for US Ski and Snowboard and the Chinese Ski Association for having the vision and belief in me to make my dreams come true. I am proud of my heritage and equally proud of my American upbringings. The opportunity to help inspire millions of young people where my mum was born during the 2022 Beijing Olympic Winter Games is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to help promote the sport I love. Through skiing, I hope to unite people, promote common understanding, create communication and forge friendships between nations. If I can help to inspire one young girl to break a boundary, my wishes will have come true. Love to both America and China. Now, personally, I think the key piece in that whole post was the part where she says, the opportunity to help inspire millions of young people where my mum was born. Now, since the announcement that the Winter Games for 2022 was going to be in Beijing, there's been a huge uptake in interest and participation in winter sports throughout China. So since 2015, there's been an increase of over 300% in ice rinks, taking the total to over 600. And there's been a 40% increase in ski resorts, taking the total to over 800 across China. And not only that, but ticket sales of those venues have increased significantly over that same period. And the Chinese population have really started endorsing winter sports. However, right now, they don't have a skiing hero. And I believe Eileen Gu could be that skiing hero and that role model for the young in China who want to take up those winter sports. Eileen knows that skiing as a sport is very established in the USA, and that if she skied for the USA, she wouldn't actually make much of an impact on the sport or inspire many young people in the USA, as it is still already very established. And she knows that if she skis for China, she could inspire millions, if not tens of millions of young people to take up the sport of skiing. And that would be a benefit to the whole of the skiing community worldwide. And my final thought on this is that I think Athletes from anywhere should be free to choose whatever country they wish to compete with without any political or racial harassment from mainstream media or anyone else for that matter. I'm sure Eileen has no interest in geopolitics. She just wants to ski, which is a sport she loves, and she wants to use that to inspire as many young people as she possibly can. And by skiing for China, she can achieve that dream that she has. Okay, so if you did reach this far in the video, I'd like to really thank you for that. I'd very much welcome your comments in the comments section, as this is a very, very interesting and divided debate. If you do like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up to help more people to see the video. And if you do like the type of content we provide on this channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. But as always, for now, take care.